Hello YouTubers, making another video. I haven't made one for a while and stuff, but I've been, you know, I had an accident, and crashed my car, and I've been working on my car. It's been 2 weeks and all that. I had to buy a whole lot of parts. I only had, you know, uh, liability insurance and so they didn't. I wasn't covered, and I had to buy a lot of parts. Bought the hood and everything, and that's right here. There's the hood. I bought a lot of bought a lot of parts, fenders, bumper covers, all that stuff. It cost me a lot of money, and you know, well now I've been fixing it, and stuff like that. Got most of it done. I don't do instructional videos. I mean, and because that would take me a long time. I've done a lot of work to my car, um, and the frame, the subframe or whatever got bent. It was destroyed or whatever. I mean, it was just damaged. It got damaged and all that. So I had to buy another one from the junkyard, and I'll show you that, and stuff. And oh, I almost slipped on some glass here. As you can see, there's the bumper cover, and there's the frame. It got damaged. It got bent right there, and the mount, broke off the wells. And there's a radiator. It got bent pretty bad and all. It started leaking. And that's where it broke off. So it was leaking water from down there. And there's the parts. I had to replace the the hubs. Also, I had to replace the CV axle, the motor mount and stuff. And um, I'm just I'll tell you what I had to do. Of course, I had to take everything apart to replace the uh, the frame. I had to replace the frame. As I had to take everything apart, like I just said, and replace the frame. But before I replaced the frame, then I had to take the brake caliper off. I had to take the brake caliper, took the wheel off, and took the brake caliper off, took the rotor off, and then there's a knuckle behind here. You got to take the steering knuckle off and stuff, and there's different size sockets that you need to take off and everything, and the strut mount bolts. I had to take those off and everything. I had to take uh, the can't think of it. Um, the steering, the rack and pinion, um, and what steers the rack or the steers the tires. I had to take that off and everything. I mean, a whole lot of stuff I had to take off, and then you gotta take off this. The like I said, you gotta take off the rack and pinion. There's two bolts. You gotta take those off and everything. And there's like 13 and 14 millimeters. I guess for uh the caliper and all. Then there's bolts behind there to take off the. I think there's like maybe 14 millimeters, something like that. 15, maybe 15 millimeters to take out the the hubs. Take out the hubs, and then the separate. You got to separate the ball joint and everything. The knuckle and all that stuff, and then that way you can then I can't think of the stupid name, man. You know, then you gotta take out the ball joint, and stuff separated from the knuckle and everything, and then you can take off the rotors. So I put new rotors on each side, but then I didn't do that right away. Of course, I had to take out the frame. So these big bolts, there's four big bolts, on the subframe. You gotta take off. So I did, and then I bought me a tool from Harbor Freight, that you put on top, it goes across, and then you put the chain on the hook, of the engine, and it helps it, stay up, that the engine doesn't fall down. So you have to do that. Then you lower the old frame, and then you know it was a lot of work, and I had to jack up the new frame, and also you got to take the transmission mounts off, and also the motor mounts, before you can take the frame off. And then you put the new frame underneath, and bolt up the transmission mount, and the motor mount and stuff, and then all put everything back. Also, I had to buy a new motor mount because the motor mount was not. I mean, was just gone. And and the new CB axles. I had to buy new CB axles. That one of the axles was gone. You know, and yeah, I had to buy those. Just um. And so I put the frame on back on. I put everything back on and stuff. The new hubs on each side. I also changed the hubs in the back. There's videos on that, how to do that and stuff. They're 10 millimeter bolts and everything. You got to take off the calipers and all that stuff, and then unplug the sensor or the plug from the sensor, and then the 10 millimeter bolts. Also, you have to have a slide hammer. You get the slide hammer, you put the nuts on, and then just keep on. I know that it looks messed up, but that's what you have to do. You have to, the slide hammer, just bam, 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 and then because they're gonna be kind of hard to get out, they've been, and so then they'll come out and stuff. Then you gotta disassemble the hub from the plate and the emergency brake and all that stuff. And then you gotta be careful because there's a little cylinder on the bottom, little cylinder on the bottom there. And if those come out, and there's a little pin in there in that little cylinder, and the little thing that goes, you know, um, with the brake, there's a cable that goes around the little thing, and that pulls on the the brake pads or whatever, and it expands it. So if that little cylinder falls apart, or there's a pin in there, you gotta be careful not to lose that, because that goes back in the cylinder, and those things go back, top, and with the thing that the cable goes on. So I almost lost that little pin, but I had good thing I was able to find it and all that. So I put it all back together and everything, and you know, and now I am working on the straightening out the front part of my car. You know, and I'll show you that. You know. And
I had to take the battery out and the battery, deal that the battery sits on. You can't do it. You can't take the battery radiator without doing that. And, there's a video that TRQ shows. You'll have to take the air cleaner box out of the way and stuff, and then undo the bolts here for the engine, mount or whatever, keep it from going, whatever. But anyway, out and also try to straighten out the damage here, stuff as good as straight as I can, and working on that. When after I get that done, then I'll put the radiator back in, and get the radiator out with and all that. I'm just